evening, Wyoming. We begin this evening in Natrona County. Natrona County Sheriff's Office officials have been speaking out, saying they are critically underfunded.
Tonight, their concerns may have been resolved, tapping into a $1 million surplus from last year's budget to hire new staff. Officials hope to hire 4 to 6 deputy positions over the next 6 months. They see this as a positive development amid a serious staffing shortage at the department.
It takes stress off them. I mean, we still have a lot of overtime that we have to cover, because you can't consider that deputy that we're just now hiring on his own for 6 months. So you still have to cover those slots.
And last week, we brought you the story of a Casper resident, Matthew Gomez, who was left in and out of a coma in Cancun following a moped accident. Still suffering from broken bones in his arm, wrist, and leg, and having trouble forming sentences, Gomez has a long way to go to recover. And his mother fears he's not getting the proper care he needs in Mexico. KTUU spoke with Gomez's mother, who's with him and is begging the community to do whatever it can to help bring him back to the United States.
My community, Casper, is all about helping and helping. Help me. All I want is my son to be able to be flown out of here. If a doctor will, help me do that, a nurse will help me get my son back to the United States, I will do the rest myself. I'll do whatever I have to do for my son. He's my life, and I'm not leaving him here.
Donations for medical expenses are being accepted at Jonah Bank and Reliant Federal Credit Union. Just mentioned Matthew Gomez. And to donate, you can go to the GoFundMe page or reach out to the family at 307-337-8077.
And here in Casper, a woman is now facing charges after swinging a punch at a police officer. 26-year-old Aldea Madison was originally facing a charge of domestic battery when she decided to throw the punch. She now is facing an additional charge of interference with a peace officer. The officer was not injured. And today is National Coffee with a Cop Day. The Cheyenne Police Department started the community program to show a positive presence in the area.
You can look at the kind of the national attitude towards law enforcement, and it can be pretty negative nowadays. We're fortunate in Cheyenne that I think we have a very supportive community. People appreciate law enforcement. We hear it quite a bit. But at the same time, we get that by being a community member, being part of the community.
And it was a historic night for the Colorado Rockies last night in Chicago. The Rockies outlasted the Cubs last night in the longest single elimination game in MLB history. Some late game heroics by backup catcher Tony Walters drove in the winning run, capping off an instant classic. The win has some Casper fans thinking of a long Rocktober.
I think there's going to be a lot of runs scored, and that should help the Rockies. So. Yeah, I think they might take the Brewers. Yeah, I hope so.
And ABC's new flagship drama, A Million Little Things, airs its first and second episode tonight on ABC.
It involves a group of friends reacting to the suicide of one of their best friends. As K2's Ryan Berger reports, it's an eye-opener, and that may make it easier for some to bring the issue to the forefront.
John always said everything happens for a reason. Even how we all met. We got stuck on an elevator.
Suicide is the subject matter of ABC's new drama, A Million Little Things. The plot stems from one emotional gut punch, a friend unexpectedly taking his own life.
How could I not know? How could I not see it?
Suicide is a rare topic tackled by television, making A Million Little Things stand out from the crowd.
It's obviously being brought to attention, and people are able to talk about it rather than saying, no, we can't have that on there.
The death of a loved one rarely leaves things in a nice compartmentalized package.
Sometimes I think the reality of suicide has to hit us upside the head. Suicide's one of those things that my generation and older generations did not even talk about.
The show, as it progresses, will help to unravel some of the warning signs of suicide. The first episode ending with a PSA plugging the National Suicide Hotline.
Over 1 million people have thoughts of suicide each year.
But the majority of them recover and go on to live fulfilling lives.
We can be there for those struggling today.
Masculinity and the tendency of men to suppress emotions is also a theme explored.
You heard that, which means we gotta do something for Soph.
We gotta do what men do. We gotta deflect.
Absolutely.
There's definitely a difference between males and females when dealing with emotions or seeing a therapist or getting help or even asking for help or acknowledging that they're struggling with this kind of stuff.
If you missed A Million Little Things last week, you get another chance with Wednesday's re-airing. It's been critically acclaimed, and who knows, you might even get hooked on some pretty interesting storylines.
Tell me one good thing that's happened because of this. One. If you hadn't called to tell me about John, I would be dead right now.
I feel it in my ribs.
In Casper, Ryan Berger, K2 News.
Well, Eric, it is certainly chilly out there, getting a little colder, but that wind, my goodness, hit me right in the face.
Yes, I'm already cold right now. I have my jacket on my lap, keeping me warm, so I
Tell
think
you what, Hallie, if you think today's cold, and like they say in the song, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, no.
Take a look here at the advisory map. Nothing going on now. This could change as we go on into the weekend as we have snow chances in the forecast. We'll talk about that coming up in the next check of weather. Take a look here at Lynx HD radar showing a little bit of rain across portions of southeastern Sweetwater County. Otherwise, that's really about it in terms of precipitation. But that's going to get a nice workout starting tonight on into tomorrow. So we had a high of 69 here in the Oil City, 76 in Douglas, 82 in Torrington. So we had temperatures all over the place, right around normal, some places well above normal. And if you didn't enjoy today, you're out of luck because we're going to cool off tomorrow. And we're really going to take that nosedive as we go on into the weekend. Outside right now, 40s across I-90, 50s and 60s across I-80. Everywhere else in central Wyoming, in between the 40s and 60s. We're at 49 here in the Oil City, 56 in Riverton, upper 50s towards Jackson, Big Piney, as well as Lander, checking in with 60 degrees. Now we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast. We're going to go ahead and start the clock at 7 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, southwestern Wyoming getting in on some rain. We'll see it push its way through central Wyoming in the evening and overnight hours, much like last night. Around midnight to about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting in on some rain. And then that rain just continues throughout your Thursday as it pushes its way up from Utah on into the Cowboy State. So this is something we're going to have to keep an eye on throughout the evening and overnight hours. Mostly cloudy skies at the airport. Look at that temperature, 49 degrees. That humidity is up at 56%. With winds out of the east-northeast at 16 miles per hour. I'll have Wyoming's most accurate forecast coming up in a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. And in less than 2 weeks, you can help make a difference for those in need this Thanksgiving. The Gobble Gobble Give Canned Food Drive will begin on October 15th and end on November 22nd.
In Fremont County alone, over 2,100 kids do not know where their next meal will come from. Last year, students, teachers, and parents came together to raise more than 2,200 pounds of food, which equaled about 1,800 meals. Ways that you'll be able to help partake are donating canned goods to a participating school near you. Multiple schools in Fremont County participated last year, and many schools will be re-participating again this year.
The really great part of this project is the fact that the food and money we raise stays in Fremont County. So it's really a nice project for the community, and the kids understand what they're doing. They're helping other people out who have a little bit of a tough time, especially around the time of Thanksgiving.